Hello everyone and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I wanted to share a really special Eastern European cookie recipe for the holidays. We will be making my raspberry pistachio Rogaliki cookies. You are going to love these soft, fluffy, and buttery cookies for the holidays. This old world recipe has been passed down for generations from my mom's Polish Ukrainian side of the family. And I remember making huge batches of these with my mom ever since I was a little girl, and we would make them for special occasions and holidays with all kinds of different fillings. This recipe is made with a buttery, soft yeast dough that's then shaped, filled with some pistachios and raspberry jam, and then the cookies are rolled, shaped, baked, and you can enjoy them with some tea or coffee. The texture is phenomenal. They're just so soft. They melt into your mouth, and I love the filling, the raspberry and pistachio together. For the full list of ingredients and the printable instructions, head on down into that video description box and over to my website, where I also include metric measurements. You can also find a variation of this recipe with apricot jam and powdered sugar in my cookbook Beyond Borscht, so I'll have links for my book down there as well. Meanwhile, let's get started. Let's get things started with the dough. We'll need half a cup of whole milk heated to between 120 and 130 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll pour that into a large mixing bowl. Sprinkle in a little bit of sugar from our quarter cup measurement, and we'll add in 2 teaspoons of dry active yeast. And then just let this yeast stand for about 5 minutes until it becomes fluffy and kind of foamy looking. Once proofed, we can whisk that yeast in with the milk. Add in the rest of the quarter cup white granulated sugar, half a teaspoon of sea salt, half a cup plus 2 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter. Make sure you let this cool down so it's not super hot. 2 tablespoons of sour cream, and 2 eggs plus 1 egg yolk. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then we can whisk this all together. You want to make sure the eggs are well beaten. We'll need approximately 3½ cups of all-purpose flour, and I recommend whisking in a little bit at a time. Give it a really good after each addition, and then once the batter starts to thicken into dough, switch over to a spatula. Once the dough comes together into a ball, sprinkle some flour onto your work surface. Turn out your dough ball. Continue adding more flour as needed until the dough is no longer sticky. I like to knead mine for about 5 to 6 minutes until it's really smooth and elastic. Once the cookie dough is ready, we'll place it back into our mixing bowl. Cover this with a clean towel and set it into a warm corner of the kitchen to proof for about an hour, hour and a half, until it's doubled up in size. While the cookie dough is proofing, it's the perfect time to get your fillings ready. I have my raspberry jam, and I'm going to show you how I make my diced pistachio filling as well. We'll need 1 cup of roasted salted pistachios. Place those into a food processor, along with half a cup of white granulated sugar. And we're going to pulse the nuts and the sugar together until the pistachios are finely diced. Pulse this mixture until the oils from the pistachios start to come out, and then the nuts and the sugar will kind of clump together. Once your dough has proofed, you'll want to gently punch it down. Take it back out onto your work surface, and we're going to divide this dough evenly into 4 pieces. Use a rolling pin to roll the dough out into a large circle about 10 to 12 inches in diameter. I'm going to apply an egg wash. I just beat together 2 eggs with a tablespoon of water in a little bowl. Use a little pastry brush, apply the egg wash, but leave an inch border around the edges. Next, take that pistachio sugar, that mixture that we prepared earlier. We're going to spread it right over the egg wash, which should help keep it in place. And then I like to use a pizza cutter. You can also use a sharp knife and divide this circle into 12 equal pieces, just like you would a pizza or a pie. And then we can add our raspberry jam, and you want to add it about a teaspoon right near the top. You don't want to add too much, otherwise it could go out the size of the cookies while they're baking. To shape the cookies, you want to fold the edges of the dough over the jam, press it into place. This will keep the jam from going out the sides, and then gently roll these right up. Just like that. Place the cookies onto a baking sheet lined with parchment paper or silicone mat. Make sure the tail end of the cookies is tucked underneath. That way when the cookies bake, it doesn't become undone. I love making these cookies for the holidays. It just brings back so many childhood memories of making these cookies with my mom, except back then we would make like a double or triple batch of these for every single holiday or special occasion. And we would make them with a variety of different fillings. So my mom would use like apple, plum, apricot jam. You can also make these with chocolate and different nuts like walnuts or pecans. These cookies are so delicious. I can't wait for you to try this recipe. And then use that pastry brush and apply the egg wash on the outside of the cookies as well. We'll give them a beautiful golden finish once they're done baking. Once you have the cookies coated in the egg wash, go ahead and start preheating the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. The cookie dough does need to proof for a second time for about 30 to 45 minutes. You want the cookies to be slightly fluffier, puffier, and then into the oven at 350 for about 18 to 20 minutes until they're a rich golden brown color on the outside. Let them cool on the pan for a couple minutes before transferring onto a wire rack to cool completely. If you have a little bit of the pistachio sugar mixture left over, you could sprinkle that over the cookies as well. Use a little spatula to lift the cookies off the baking sheet, and there's usually still a little bit of jam that seeps out the ends. No matter how well I feel like I seal the inside, there's always just a little bit that comes out. These look so good, don't they? Ah, check that out. So fluffy. I love the golden finish on the top. I'm just going to set them on a wire rack to cool. Let's slice into one of these cookies so you can see what it looks like on the inside. Use a little serrated knife to do this. Check that out. You've got these incredible swirls of a raspberry jam along with the pistachios on the inside. Doesn't this look amazing? I have my last sheet of cookies baking away in the oven. These smell so incredibly delicious. There's something really special about a sweet yeast dough baking. It's so warming and mouth-watering. You are going to love these cookies. I love to enjoy them while they're still warm. On the same day, they have the best texture and flavor. They're super soft and buttery. They'll just melt into your mouth. And I love all the filling here. You have the pistachio, the raspberry, my favorite combination. These Rogaliki cookies are phenomenal. This dough is so light and fluffy and buttery. I love the texture. Then you have the incredible combination, the pistachio and the raspberry on the inside. These are unbeatable. All you need is a cup of coffee or tea, and you can enjoy these all season long. If you're looking for a new and unique holiday cookie recipe, this is it. These Rogaliki cookies are beyond amazing and they're a guaranteed hit with everyone. Head on down into that video's description box for the recipe link, for the link for my cookbook, and for all the details up on my website. Thank you so much for watching my latest recipe, and I'll see you next time with a new one.